Back to the mystery's nest, where we uncover the forgotten truths, hidden histories, and mysteries buried deep beneath time itself. They told us the Americas were settled by a single wave of people, spreading from Asia into the New World. But deep inside the limestone caves of Lagoa Santa, Brazil, lies evidence that shatters that story. Evidence that suggests not one, but multiple lost migrations carved the destiny of the Americas. In 1843, Danish naturalist Peter Lunde uncovered ancient human bones from Lagoa Santa. At first glance, they seemed ordinary, but when he examined the skulls, something extraordinary appeared. These weren't the skulls of recent indigenous Brazilians. Their faces were broader, their foreheads lower, their jaws more projecting. The features were strikingly different, almost otherworldly. Little did Lund know. These skulls would ignite one of the longest and most heated debates in archaeology. The true origins of the first Americans. More than a century later, modern imaging and genetic studies confirmed what Lund had suspected. These skulls didn't match later Native Americans. Instead, they hinted at something older, stranger, and far more mysterious. A forgotten ancestry. The enigma of Luzia, among the most famous discoveries, was the skull of Luzia, dated to over 11,000 years ago. Luzia stood just 5 feet tall, with a slender frame. But her skull, it told another story. A low forehead, a broad face, a projecting jaw. She looked nothing like later Native American populations. Anthropologists call this the Paleoamerican morphology, a mysterious cranial form that doesn't quite fit with the narrative we've been taught. For decades, scholars argued, was this simply an early version of the same population, or did Luzia and her people represent something entirely different? A vanished migration, erased from history. Strange burials, stranger people. Excavations at Lapa do Santo, within the Lagoa Santa region, revealed 26 burials spanning thousands of years, but the burial practices were anything but ordinary. Some bodies were laid to rest intact, others were dismembered, rearranged, even burned. In one case, a man's skull was buried alongside his severed hands. These weren't random rituals. They suggested shifting traditions, or perhaps even the arrival of entirely new peoples over time. Lagoa Santa wasn't home to a single culture, but a succession of mysterious populations, each leaving behind their own unique mark. The skull puzzle. Modern cranial analysis using 3D imaging revealed something shocking. The Lagoa Santa skulls did not resemble later South Americans at all. Instead, they shared strange affinities with populations in Australasia and Polynesia, thousands of miles away across oceans. This wasn't supposed to be possible. How could ancient Brazilians resemble distant groups from Australia or the Pacific? If South America had been settled by only one founding lineage, the skulls should show continuity, but they don't. Instead, they revealed that South America was peopled by at least 2 separate waves of settlers. The first, Paleoamericans, with generalized, broad-faced skulls, resembling populations outside the Americas. The second, later migrants with East Asian-derived features, who became the dominant ancestors of most indigenous peoples we know today. Genetics confirmed the mystery. Genetic research deepened the enigma. Scientists discovered traces of Australasian ancestry in some Amazonian groups, a genetic ghost population known as Population Y. This matches the cranial evidence from Lagoa Santa. Together, they whisper of a lost migration, perhaps connected to early Asians with deep ties to Australasia. Later, new waves of East Asian-descended people swept across the Americas, replacing or absorbing the earlier settlers. Yet traces of those forgotten ancestors linger in both bones and DNA. A lost legacy. Some evidence suggests Paleoamerican features survived until very recently. The Botocudo people of Brazil, exterminated during the colonial period, showed elements of this ancient morphology. Could they have been the last echoes of Lagoa Santa's mysterious inhabitants? The people of Lagoa Santa were hunter-gatherers, surviving on fish, rodents, fruits, and roots. Their tools were simple, their lives fragile, a precarious existence that made them vulnerable to newcomers with stronger technologies and different ways of life. The true story of the Americas. The evidence from Lagoa Santa changes everything we thought we knew about the peopling of the Americas. It wasn't one migration. It was many, a chorus of arrivals, each leaving behind their own legacy in bone, burial, and blood. The caves of Lagoa Santa hold the whispers of these lost voices. They remind us that history is never a straight line, but a mosaic of forgotten beginnings. Were these early settlers connected to distant Australasians? Were they replaced? Or did they simply vanish into history's shadows? And most importantly, how many more lost migrations wait to be uncovered beneath the soils of the Americas? The skulls of Lagoa Santa do stare back at us with questions unanswered. And until we solve their mystery, the story of humanity's journey into the New World remains unfinished. Thank you for watching The Mystery's Nest. If you love exploring ancient mysteries, unsolved history, and secrets buried by time, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a journey into the unknown.